Have you ever wondered why humans can hardly live beyond 100 years? This number wasn't randomly decided by heaven. According to an ancient legend, it was the deadline of a pact from the distant past. In the ancient age of chaos, humans were said to have lived much longer than they do today. The classic of Mountains and Seas, an ancient Chinese text, recorded the existence of a mysterious place called the Kingdom of Yuxi. The people there were unlike ordinary humans. After they died, their hearts would not stop beating. They would be buried underground, and after 120 years, they could climb out from the earth and return to life once again. There were also the immortal people, whose lifespans had no limit. Bengzu was said to have lived for 800 years, and Guang Chengzi once said, "Therefore I have cultivated myself for 1,200 years, and my body has never grown old." In that era, people were said to live for hundreds of years with ease, but no one knows when it began. At some point, 100 years became an invisible boundary between life and death. For most people, by the time they reached their 70s or 80s, their bodies had already reached the end of their strength. This was not simply a natural law. According to the legend, it was the result of a carefully designed agreement known as the Hundred-Year Pact. In the Buddhist scripture, the long discourses of the Buddha, there is a sentence that sounds like a cold blade, piercing the heart of humanity. People of Jambudvipa have a lifespan of 100 years, with few reaching it, and many living less. In simple words, it means the lifespan of humans in this world was limited to 100 years. Even those who could reach this number were already rare. Most people would live far less. This was not a prediction. It was a judgment that had already taken effect thousands of years ago. The story begins with the ancient war between the three great races. In that distant age, humans, gods, and demons each ruled their own territories. The gods lived on the peak of Mount Kunlun, controlling the sun, moon, and stars. The demons occupied the oceans and the lands beyond the horizon, possessing the power to control wind and rain. Among the three races, humans were the weakest, but they had one advantage. Their numbers were enormous. They spread across the land of Jiushu. The conflicts between the three races never stopped, especially between humans and demons. For the struggle over territory and resources, they fought for 3,000 years. The demons had extremely long lifespans. Many of them could live for thousands of years. But their reproduction was slow, and their population remained small. Humans, although their lives were short, multiplied incredibly fast. Like grass that could never be completely burned away, the demons could destroy one generation of humans, but soon 10 times more new humans would appear. What was even more frightening was that among humans, some people with extraordinary talents began to appear. They practiced cultivation, pursued immortality, and their lifespans continued to increase. They were gradually showing the potential to surpass the demons. The demon kings became afraid. If this continued, within tens of thousands of years, humans would completely overwhelm the demon race. So the demons came up with a terrible plan. They wanted to limit the lifespan of humanity forever. They approached the gods and proposed a deal. The gods would help the demons place a lifespan lock inside the bodies of humans. From that moment on, human lifespans would forever be limited to less than 100 years. In exchange, the demons would offer the gods countless treasures, spiritual stones, and rare resources every year. Inside the world of the gods, this decision caused a huge debate. One side believed that human potential was too great. If humans were left unchecked, they would eventually become a threat to the gods. The other side believed that humans were the spirit of heaven and earth, and they should not be treated this way. The argument continued for 100 years. In the end, the faction that supported limiting human lifespans gained the upper hand. The gods sent their messenger down to the human world. He found the leader of the human tribes at that time, Xuanyuan Shi. The divine messenger said, "You humans and the demons have fought for 3,000 years. Countless lives have been lost, and ordinary people have suffered greatly. The gods are willing to step forward and mediate this conflict. But there is one condition. The human race must accept the 100-Year Pact. From this day forward, the lifespan of every generation of humans shall never exceed 100 years. As compensation, the demons promise that they will no longer invade human territory. The gods will also teach humans farming, medicine, and writing, allowing humanity to live better lives within these 100 years. Xuanyuan Shi remained silent. He knew this was an unfair deal. If he accepted it, humanity would forever lose the hope of immortality. But if he refused, humans might be completely destroyed by the demons in the next great war. After a long struggle, Xuanyuan Shi finally made his decision. He placed his hand on a contract carved from Kunlun jade and left his mark upon it. At that moment, a deep thunder echoed across the heavens and earth. Countless golden rays of light descended from the sky. They formed a massive net that covered the entire land of Jiuzhu. From that day on, every human child born into this world carried an invisible lifespan lock inside their body. This lock would not activate immediately. Instead, it was like a time bomb, hidden within the body, slowly accumulating over the years. When a person reached their 70s or 80s, the lock would begin to tighten, and their physical abilities would rapidly decline. When they reached 90 years old, the lock would tighten even further, making even breathing become difficult. And when they reached 100 years old, the lock would completely close. A person would become like a lamp that had burned away all its oil, and their life would suddenly come to an end. This was why, throughout history, people who live beyond 100 years were extremely rare. It was not because their bodies were not strong enough. According to the legend, it was because the lifespan lock inside them had reached its limit. But humanity did not accept this fate. The descendants of Xuanyuan Shi continued searching for a way to break the lifespan lock. They practiced cultivation, created elixirs, and searched for immortals. They hoped to find the key that could unlock this invisible chain. Taoism pursued immortality. Buddhism focused on reincarnation. Confucianism emphasized self-cultivation and improving oneself. In different ways, they were all attempts to fight against this invisible lifespan lock. Pengzu lived for 800 years because he discovered a method that could temporarily slow down the tightening of the lifespan lock. But later, the gods discovered this weakness. They repaired the rule, and from that moment on, no one could break through this limit again. Today, human civilization has advanced. Medicine has developed greatly. The average human lifespan has increased from just over 30 years old to more than 70 years old. Yet the boundary of 100 years still remains like an unbreakable wall, standing firmly in front of humanity. Modern medicine can cure diseases. It can replace hearts. It can reconnect severed limbs. But it still cannot open that lifespan lock, because according to the legend, it is not a disease. It is a clause written in an ancient contract. When the gods created this lock, they had already considered for the changes of the future. The lifespan lock was not a simple magical spell. It was a rule carved deep into the very foundation of humanity. Even if you replaced every organ in your body, even if you transformed yourself into a machine, the lock would still remain, because it does not lock the body, it locks the soul. Your soul carries a mark with a fixed deadline, 100 years, not one day more, not one day less. So when you see people who live to 101 or 102 years old, do not think they are simply lucky. According to the legend, they may have been survivors who escaped when the lifespan lock had a flaw. However, as the gods continued repairing the rules, such exceptions became fewer and fewer. This is the truth behind the 100-Year Pact. It was not a blessing. It was a curse. It was not a natural law. It was the result of a political agreement. Humanity traded the hope of eternal life for 3,000 years of peace. I do not know whether that choice was worth it, but I do know that every person who looks up at the stars in the quiet of night carries the same question deep inside their heart. If Xuanyuan Shi had never signed that ancient contract, would humans today already be living for 500 years?